Today we're food hunting in Hong Kong. We're going to take you on a massive food tour and show you some of the best food Hong Kong has to offer. Let's go and eat.
Hong Kong is a city with a unique food culture. We're food hunting here to bring you some iconic and delicious foods. You don't want to miss this video. We're going after the best food in Hong Kong, including succulent roast goose, Hong Kong's famous egg waffles, a dim sum feast, and a meal in one of Hong Kong's quirky local cafes. Get ready for some mouth-watering food.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat.
One of the ultimate eating experiences in Hong Kong is yum ta. Yum ta is a meal where you drink copious amounts of tea and snack on little dishes called dim sum. And this restaurant behind me is pretty well known for its yum ta feast. So let's go. So at this restaurant, you come up to the dim sum area, and the lady here talks you through what you've got, what they've got, and you just go ahead and pick what you want to eat, and then they mark your card. When you're dining in local restaurants in Hong Kong, you'll find that space is at a minimum, so you often find yourself sharing tables with other diners, and so because we've only got half a table, we went with 3 dim sum to start with. We've got hagao, which are shrimp dumplings, siu mai, which are shrimp and pork dumplings in a dumpling wrapper, and then fan, so rice noodle rolls, and these ones have got char siu in, so barbecue pork. I'm gonna pour some soy sauce onto the fan and get that all over it. This restaurant is really well known because they make all their own dim sum fresh. So some of the restaurants in Hong Kong have resorted to using like factory made dim sum, but these guys come in really early in the morning and make all these fresh for that day's service. So let's give them a go. It's made up of a flat rice noodle that they fill with filling, so in this case char siu or barbecue pork, and then they steam it. It's really good. The skin of the fan is quite thick in this case, but it's still really soft, and the barbecue pork has a really great flavour. This dim sum is siu mai, and it's a real classic when you come to yum ta, and so it's made up of a pork and shrimp filling, and then it's got a dumpling wrapper wrapped around it, and then it's topped with crab roe. So I'm just actually going to dip it in some chili oil and then just pop it in my gob. It's got a really good flavour, a real beautiful mix of fatty pork as well as lean pork, and then it's quite bouncy and crisp from that prawn, and that chili oil is ace. We've got another stack of dim sum, so I ordered us some custard and lava buns, which we hear that this restaurant is super famous for. So we've got that, and we've got some so some dumplings which are filled with minced pork and peanuts and all sorts of other treasures, and then a classic dim sum, just some steamed spare ribs with some chili and garlic. Yum ta is a really social, fun type of meal, and often the restaurants are really rowdy and busy and lively. And so this restaurant here, they're actually at the back, they're making the dim sum as we speak. There are servers walking back and forth with trays piled high with steamers. People are laughing, chatting, eating, and of course drinking copious cups of tea. So you always drink Chinese tea when you're eating dim sum. I've got this fan, which is a Teochew style dumpling. We'll see what's inside. Oh, it's hot. But it's got a really almost galuggy dumpling skin, and then inside the filling is quite sweet. There's dried shrimp, there's water chestnuts which are pretty crunchy, there's a tiny bit of minced pork. This is one of my favourites.
Time to rip into one of these famous lava buns. Oh, we've let them go a little bit cold, but hopefully these really explode when I rip into it. So we'll have a custard inside. Oh man. Oh, it actually looks like lava. So it's quite an oily custard actually. Look at that. I'm gonna eat this side with lots of custard. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. That's an egg custard, so it's really sort of gritty, but it is packed with flavor. It's really rich. It's quite sweet, but not over the top. And the flavor is just, it's explosive. And all that sort of oil just popped out of the custard. That was super, super tasty.
This custard bun is unreal. And we've just worked out it's quite gritty because there's actually salted egg in here, so it's like salted egg custard. Oh. That was a brilliant yum ta session. That restaurant's open from 3 AM right through to 4 PM, so you should definitely come when you're in Hong Kong. We would usually order heaps more dim sum than we did, but we've got a huge day of eating ahead, so let's go and get some more food.
Next up, we're gonna grab a really common street snack here in Hong Kong. It's an eggette or a gaidanze, which is a sweet treat. We're gonna grab it from this stand right over here. We've picked up our eggette and this thing smells amazing. So it's pretty much just a very basic batter, a very egg heavy batter as well. So egg, wheat flour to get this simple, pretty much like a waffle. So they put it into a waffle press or an iron, which cooks it and has all these egg shape, and it's incredibly light and incredibly crispy. I'm just gonna break a big bit off. Whoa. So those thin bits in between the egg shapes are really, really crispy. Let's crunch it. Oh man. So inside there is a little bit soft. It just is a very basic taste. We got the plain one. You can get these in all sorts of flavors like chocolate and chocolate chips and things, but we just wanted the plain one. And that is beautiful. It just tastes like a very egg heavy batter cooked with that beautiful crispy edge, and it's so light. It's not too sweet. It's definitely a sweet treat, but it's not overridingly sweet. And I love the crunch in all those middle bits. So you've got the nice soft eggs. You can see that there. It's full of air, a little bit soft, that batter inside, so it's only just cooked inside, and then super crispy. Oh, great crunch. These are super popular in Hong Kong, and this stand does an incredibly good version. That is awesome. You cannot come to Hong Kong and not have roast goose. We're popping into this place here for it, and remember, we always put the details of where we're eating down below in the YouTube description box.
Làm điểm siêu ngọt phải là làm điểm siêu ngọt phải ok, có sai.
So roast goose is really famous in Hong Kong, and you see it everywhere on almost every street corner. This place does an incredible version. So look at that crispy, beautiful goose skin on top. We'll just peel it apart so you can see really juicy meat and big bits of meat. It's all sitting on white rice and then doused in this incredible brown sauce, but not too much of the sauce because that will be quite salty. Let's just grab this middle piece. Look at that. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, the meat is so rich. It's got a really good bite to it, so it's not super tender. It doesn't just fall apart. It's not all sort of slippery. It doesn't break up. It's got a bit of bite. And then the skin was not super crispy, but had a beautiful little crunch on the top, and that layer of fat underneath just burst in my mouth.
Whilst I was filming Thomas, I could smell the aroma of that roast goose wafting up into my nose, and I've got to get in and try it. Alright, so rice, a big piece of goose, wow. When you bite into that skin, like Thomas said, it's not overly crispy, but the fat, the layer of fat that is just under that skin just explodes in your mouth, and it melts in your mouth, and there's so much flavor in that meat. Still has a bit of bite to it. I've got a beautiful, almost gaminess to the meat, the flavor of the meat.
I've got to grab this piece of skin. So there's no meat on here at all. It's all just fat and skin. Look how glossy it is. I want to put that whole piece in one go. Oh man. That fat bursts. It absolutely bursts. It turns to liquid when you bite into it. The skin actually had really no crunch at all, that piece. Just super soft, but not chewy. So skin, when it can be not actually crunchy, can often be a bit chewy, but this just, your teeth go straight through it like a knife through butter. That fat just bursts in your mouth, and it has a real sort of smoky, sort of mapley flavor almost, like sort of smells like wood and maple syrup fused into this fatty skin. It is heaven. Oh yeah, that was amazing, and you can always trust a restaurant when Michelin 1, 2, 3, 4 years in a row. Unreal goose. Let's go get some more food.
Our next stop is a tartan tang, and a tartan tang is a really casual local eatery that serves fusion food. So it's a fusion of Chinese and Western dishes, and there is some really interesting stuff on these menus. We're going to grab a baked pork chop on rice. Let's go. So you'll find some really unusual menu items when you're dining at Tartan Tang. Like, check this one out. It's a baked seafood and mozzarella cheese with fried rice. And then this one here, ox tongue and mushrooms in port wine with spaghetti. But what we're here to eat is this, the baked pork chop with fried rice and tomato puree. My guksu pafan, or baked pork chop on rice, has arrived, and oh my gosh, it looks pretty wild. So what the dish is made up of is, it starts with a bed of egg fried rice, so you can see that egg fried rice underneath there, and then they top it with a huge pan fried pork chop. So let me just push aside some of this sauce. You can see that pork chop hiding underneath there, and then they top it with a tomato sauce. So the tomato sauce is cooked with a ton of vegetables. I can see some carrot, there's some celery, there's also some onions and mushroom, and then they've sliced a piece of tomato and topped the dish with that, and then covered it with cheese, and then they put the whole dish under the grill so that the cheese can melt and get all bubbly, and then you can see there's like a little bit of a crust which is formed on top of like where the pork chop is, and also on some of that sauce. Hopefully it's pretty tender. Yep, it is. So I don't even have to use a knife, and I can break off some of that pork chop, get a big spoonful. Okay, all right. It's super hot. This is one of my favorite dishes to eat when we come back to Hong Kong, because it is just comfort food at its finest. The egg fried rice, it's very plain, but it's still just got a nice savoury flavour. There's a lot of egg in there. It's a little bit oily. You've got that sweet tomato sauce, and then that pork chop is super tender. It's just a little bit crispy as well where it's been pan fried. The spider's got some pork chop, the mushroom, tomato, and then also that rice. The rice is a little bit oily. The pork chop is really tender and meaty. That tomato sauce has got a really almost a tanginess and a sweetness. And then those vegetables that are cooked in with it are just really smooth and add a little bit of flavour. This is such a comforting, hearty dish. A lot of the joy about eating this type of food is the atmosphere of the Tatsantang themselves. So this Tatsantang has been going since the 1960s and it's pretty crazy. There's wrought iron chairs, vinyl booths, gaudy chandeliers, coloured lights, and so they're almost pretty nostalgic. And the fact the food is fusion, so a mix of Cantonese food and Western food, brings back a lot of Hong Kong's unique past, it being a former British colony. And the food is not going to be the best that you eat in Hong Kong. It's not elegant or refined, but it's a lot of fun and it's really unique to Hong Kong. So you definitely have to eat at a Tatsantang when you're here. They're open all the way from the morning up until the night time, and they serve a whole range of food, so don't miss out. It's a lot of fun.
Another massive and incredible day of eating here in Hong Kong. The food here is just so good. Don't forget to check out our other videos that we've made while we've been here in Hong Kong.
Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. We've got heaps more videos coming soon. We're heading to Taiwan next, so a ton of food content coming from Taiwan. Remember to hit that like button, and if you want to support more Chasing a Plate content, check out our Patreon page.
And chuck a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this video. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, Doggy.
Bye bye.